So if you want to know more about the raster parameters, you could just show the help panel and it will explain it to you for everything. So the question on page 700 asks, can you think of a scenario where it will be important to calculate the direction from the source layer? So answers will vary. So for example, calculating a direction output in addition to distance from nearest towns would be useful for emergency helicopter responders. So we're going to hit OK to apply the parameters of the Euclidean distance tool. In Model Builder, the Euclidean distance tool is ready to run. The optional distance output will remain empty. So to run model, we already know that the first way we can click run, or you can click model run, or you can just right click on this tool and click run. So in Model Builder, click the full extension button to see the model entirely. And then we're going to the trial and error has shown that the default processing extent for the Euclidean distance tool results in an undesirable output with some edges cut off at the input points. Because you want to see a complete buffer around all bus stop points, even those on the outer edge of the input layer, you will change an environment setting for this tool only. Again, trial and error has shown that changing the environment for the entire model would cause subsequent tools, once you haven't added yet, to fail. Changing the setting for only one tool will provide more desirable results. So in the model, we're going to right-click Euclidean distance and click Properties. And then we're going to go to the Processing Extend chat box. In the model, right-click Euclidean distance and click Properties. Euclidean distance properties. Oh, right here. Euclidean properties. And then we're going to click Values. Proceeding Extend. Expand it. And then checkbox. And then click Values. Values, proceeding extend, and then change the extend to the same layer study area block groups. The same layer study area block groups. Same layer study area block groups. And then we're going to click OK and then OK to close the environmental setting. And then hit Apply, hit OK. So this is a good time to save your model. On the Model menu bar, we're going to click Model and Save As. Save the model to the toolbox you created with the default custom name, so it will be my folder right here. And model, we just save it as models. So models are tools. They must reside within toolbox. So now we are inside of the toolbox. We're going to just click Save. We're going to run the model and add a distance output to the map display. So the final criteria is a high percentage of children under age 5. You have a demographic data for census block groups. To balance total population differences in block groups, a percentage calculation is preferred over an absolute count. If you examine the attribute table of the block groups, you will see fields called age under 5 and population. Now we're going to validate again because we made some changes, and then we will rerun. And now you can see the setting that the city bus, it will save it automatically into my jump drive. And I'm going to add this to display. And I think this already add to display already. Now we're going to move around and move this on top. And now we can see the buffer zone. Okay. Now we're going to see fields called age under 5 and population 2010, but there was no percentage field. We're going to create one. This requires to separate processes. First, we're going to add the field, and then we're going to calculate its desired values. So from the toolbox, we're going to drag the add field and calculate field to data management tools. Fields. Add a field and calculate field. So notice when there are two elements with the same name, Model Builder appends a number to the element 2 and 3 and so on to differentiate the difference between them. But now we have to zoom in to see it. So output feature, and you can see one is 1, the other is 2, and you can put 3. So the model builder will append those numbers to differentiate between these two. So you can easily resize or rearrange model elements to fit the model window. Just click an element to select it, press and drag it. Where you like to click one of the blue selection handles to resize it. Your model elements may differ in color and position from the exercise graphs somewhat, but just make sure the tool parameters, inputs, and outputs match. So we're going to open the Add Field tool and set the Add Fields tool and set the input as the study area block groups. Study area block groups. And the field name will be percentage under 5. Underscore under 5. And the field type will be float. And select the field is now available checkbox. It's right here. Field is not available. And then we're going to open the then finally we're going to click OK. And then calculate field, double click it, and open the calculate field tool. For input table, we're going to click the arrow and click the intermediate layer. The study area block groups tool, and proceed by blue recycling icon that you can see it from here, and then the name. So intermediate data means the layer that resides in the model rather than those that resides in the map document. In other words, the new field can be calculated until it has been added. So the calculator tool now knows to do its work on the new study area block groups layer that is created as an output of the add field operation. So for field name, we're going to click the arrow. For field name, we're going to click the arrow. And scroll to the bottom of the list and click percentage under 5. That's the new field. And if you don't see the field name, you choose the wrong input. So now I see it. We're going to click the calculator button next to the expression parameter. And in the field calculator, build the following expression and then click OK. So we're going to do age under 5. It's down at the bottom. And then divide and move back for population 2010. And then we're going to hit OK. So now we can see this and it's VB. So we're going to click OK to calculate the field 2. The field 2 are connected. And now ready to run as a single operation in ArcGIS. You will add a conversation process to the model before you run it. You must turn the block groups layer into a raster so you can combine it with the other two suitability rasters. We're going to drag the polygon to raster tool. So polygon to raster tool, it will be conversion tools from raster. So here we want the two polygon to raster. It will be from raster to raster, from polygon to raster. But we need to drag the two here. Polygon to raster, polygon to raster. So now we drag it and open it up, and the polygon to raster dialog box show up here, and we're going to set the following parameters, and then we're going to click OK. So for the input feature class, we're going to do study area block groups 3. Where does 3 go? It didn't show 3. Then it will be 4. And then value field, it will be underscore percent underscore and under 5. Output raster, we're going to put it here, but we're going to call them children and hit save. And then the priority field will be none. And the size, we're going to leave the cell center size as 100. We'll leave it, and we're going to click OK. And now we're going to rearrange them. So we're going to run the model to execute the conversation process and add the output children to the ArcMap. And then finally, we're going to change the symbology of the output layer using a stretch color ramp with darker colors representing higher percentage. Add to display. Stretch, and we're going to